I'm a 30-year-old woman, and I've been married to my husband Mark for almost 4 years now. We live in a quiet suburban neighborhood that looks like something straight out of a real estate brochure. The lawns are trimmed, the houses look uniform, and everything has that air of perfect community living. The catch, of course, is that our neighborhood has one of the strictest HOAs imaginable. When we first moved in, I actually read through the entire handbook to make sure we didn't break any rules. Back then, it felt like overkill, but it turns out that detail would come in handy later. My job allows me to work from home, so weekends are the time I look forward to the most. That's when I recharge, catch up on personal things, or just enjoy quiet mornings without email pings or video calls. Mark works longer hours outside the house, so our weekends are really the only time we get to breathe together. That was the plan anyway, until his parents decided otherwise. Mark's parents, Linda and Paul, are the kind of people who believe family traditions are sacred, and in their world, Sunday gatherings are non-negotiable. Mark grew up with that routine. Every Sunday, his mom would cook a big meal. The family would sit together, and no one dared to miss it. It wasn't optional, it was a rule. When we got married, I assumed that tradition would stay at their place. But Linda had other plans. Practically the moment we returned from our honeymoon, she made it clear that Sundays would now happen at our house. At first, I didn't think much of it. I figured maybe it was temporary, maybe she just wanted to celebrate us as newlyweds, and soon things would balance out. Instead, it became clear very quickly that this was going to be permanent. Every single Sunday they were at our door, sometimes with pastries in hand, sometimes with pots of food, but always expecting to be let in. Linda would bustle straight into the kitchen as if she lived there, rearranging items in the fridge, offering commentary on how I organized the pantry, or telling me which brands of dish soap were best. She never asked, she just acted like she was in charge. Paul, on the other hand, had an obsession with pointing out flaws. He would stand in the yard and criticize how the grass looked, how the driveway wasn't swept enough, or how our hedge needed trimming. Once, when our trash bin was still at the curb a few hours after pickup, he reminded us that neighbors notice these things. He had no problem lecturing us, even though it wasn't his house. The irony that he and Linda lived only 3 streets away made the whole thing feel even more ridiculous. They had their own place, yet insisted our house should be the hub. Hosting them every week wasn't just about opening the door. It meant constant cleaning, vacuuming, wiping surfaces, preparing food, and making sure everything looked presentable. Even if Linda brought food, she still expected me to play hostess. If I tried to keep things casual, she would make comments like, "Oh, you didn't set the table properly," or "I guess you don't entertain much." It was exhausting, and it ate into every single weekend. The more it went on, the more it felt like I didn't actually live in my own house. My space turned into their gathering spot, and I was just maintaining it for them. I tried to raise it with Mark gently, explaining that maybe we could start rotating Sundays, or at least cut back to every other week. His response was always the same. "That's just how my parents are. Don't take it personally." He grew up used to their overbearing presence, so he didn't see what the big deal was. To him, this was normal, but to me, it was draining, and it was stealing the only time we had for ourselves. When I suggested alternating Sundays or having them host once in a while, Linda shut it down immediately. She claimed it was anti-family, and that gatherings only worked if everyone was together. Then she added that her house wasn't as suitable for entertaining, which made no sense considering hers was just as big as ours, if not bigger. Every excuse came back to the same outcome. Our house was the gathering point.